Hello and welcome to my Warhammer Age of Sigmar Lumineth Realm-Lords Battletome comparison video, whereby I'll be setting out all of the differences between these two books. The truth be told, I have already recorded this video for a good 30 minutes and it failed to pick up the sound. I cannot even attempt to describe how soul-crushing that really is, so your like and subscription and support would be greatly appreciated to pull me up from the despair I'm currently feeling. Hopefully that won't affect this video though. They do say practice makes perfect, and I'm sure that this video will be even better than the failed one that I recorded slightly earlier on. Now, I will be drawing some conclusions with the Broken Realms Book 2, Teclis's own book. It's ironic that Teclis doesn't feature in here, well, his raw scroll at least. But just on that note, let me just highlight your options right now. So if you're new to Lumineth and you haven't got any of these books, then I would strongly recommend you pick up the second Battletome that just came out. That has every single unit for Lumineth, and it has all of the content that was previously available in book 1. If you're not new to Lumineth and you already have the first Battletome, you can get away with picking up this second Broken Realms book, because it includes every single new unit. Of course, it's disjointed. If you've got some units from the first and some from the second, you're going to have them both open, most probably. And this second book doesn't have a page keeper, whereas obviously this one does, so that might affect things. Now the first Battletome was released very end of June 2020, and this one has been released very start of April 2021. So it's pretty much unprecedented that a second Battletome for a brand new army has been released within about 9 months of the initial release. I hope that that is not a precedent to come. I have a sneaky feeling that this book was actually due to be released at the end of 2020, so at least we've had a little bit longer. However, because the book was released end of June, we haven't necessarily had a decent run of the army to find out its strengths, its weaknesses. There haven't been a lot of games played because of the current situations around the world. So in summary, there are your two options. You can either stick with the first book and get the second Broken Realms, or if you're brand new, you can pick up the second book from the start. Now, of course, I make YouTube review videos, so I have all of these, and one of the main reasons I got them all was to make this particular video. So without further ado, let's have a look at both of these. You can already see that these are the special editions. They have the soft touch covers, and it was actually this first Lumineth book that got me into soft touch covers. I'd never touched one before in my life, and I'm sold on them. If you are a big fan of the cover art and it's your only army, I can't guarantee these enough. The only sort of downside is there's no way you're going to get a discount with these special editions. You have to get them from Games Workshop direct, which means they are going to set you back £50, and that's a lot of money to sink into a book that's less than 100 pages. Luckily, this was included in the army set for £110. So yeah, technically you got all of the models in there for 60, which was pretty good going, especially on top of even if you got a discount and got it for like £80 or so. Great deal. I think the army set is still around possibly, but you also get a load of dice in there and cards and things like that. But the initial book was 96 pages, less than 100. The second book includes 136 pages, so you're getting 40 pages more. You could say almost 50% more content. And my copy here is of the special limited edition. You can tell because it's numbered. This one's numbered 682 out of 700. They only made 700 of these. But these soft touch covers are the main reason why I'm open-minded in any of the new upcoming soft touch books, such as when I picked up the Necron Codex last year, and I'll be looking at picking up the upcoming Be'lakor special edition and the Soulblight Gravelords. So let's have a look at both of these, kind of page by page if we can. So they both have the black page keepers. They have the same artwork on the inside cover, the same bit of text there. Now, this is where the changes start straight away with the contents. I think the first book has about 12 war scrolls, whereas the second book has a whopping 27. I know, way more than double. The picture of the armies are different. The second book highlights some of the older models and some of the new ones. This is the same right here, the description, the Elves of Hysh. You don't get that in Teclis's book. You just get this little thing about Lumineth, and then it goes straight into the 2 new nations. More on those in a little bit. You've got this lovely piece of artwork, same on both. You've got the Age of Myth. You've got Rise of Enlightenment, and there's nothing really changed with this lore all the way up to basically the nations, which are right here. So these are the same, except in book 2, look, you're getting Alumnia and Helom, and that's where Teclis's book starts. Then we have To Shine Across Aeons, which is the same. That's not included in Teclis's book. So you've got the history, I guess, like a timeline, that artwork, and then it goes into the descriptions of all of the units. Book 2 has all of them, and it starts off the same with the Light of Eltharium. Instead of proceeding to the Cenari, it talks about Elania and Elethor. That's where the Teclis book kicks off, with Elania and Elethor, and it goes through just the new units, none of the old ones there. You know, you've got the Lord Regents, the Banner Blades, the Ballistas, the Wind Chargers, and that lovely bit of artwork, and then a photo of, you know, featuring the new units. So, as you can see, it then eventually gets to Cenari and the Cathalars, the Lord Regents, the Banner Blades, Shining Companies, the Blade Lords, Ballistas, Upon the Winds of Hysh. So this is the new content in the Teclis book. And then the Disciples of the Mountain. So it gets to the same level at page 38 and 50. Same there with the avatars. Different army photos. Teclis one has the same in the second book. So this is the thing, if you already have the first book, you know, there are some photos and images that are different to the second one. So if you wanted more, then yeah, you can still get the first book to cover that. These are all the same though, the unit pictures, painted pictures of them. I love these photos, I really do. I think there's a place for them, and I only wish that the 40k codexes were as good as these Age of Sigmar Battletomes. I wouldn't change these Battletomes for the world. I think they're fantastic. The 40k codexes need a lot of work to bring them in line with how awesome these are. So, yep, you've got an image of the sort of older models. Then this is where it changes, because it just shows you the, you know, big army. I would have preferred to see an army based on that army set. I think that would have helped sell that a bit more. But in the second book, and we don't have that just yet, we have a focus on the new units like Severeth and Lyrior and the Lord Regent, and also the Mayari's Purifiers, which were the little warband in Diachasm. Hope they are released separately at some point, even for like £20 or so. So you've got more of the units, and then we're back on the same page here, 72 and 54. This is a page in the Teclis book that you don't get in the second book, this one here, but you still get a focus on all the new units. And then we've got a painting guide, which you don't get in the Teclis book at all. Both painting guides are exactly the same. None for Alumnia or Heron, unfortunately. That would have been a nice addition for the second book, I believe. And then we've got the armies of the Realm Lords. These are worded slightly differently. I mean, right here you've got command traits, Venari, Cenari, Hurricane, Alarith Hero, but in the first book you've only got Cenari and Alarith Hero. So, and it's the same for the allegiance ability, so it's worth just grabbing hold of the Armies of the Realm-Lords, you know, the current one, to encompass all the new changes. The techless one is exactly the same in the second book, as you would expect. Then you've got Venari, so again, changes here. Venari, you've got 3 battle traits, command traits, and artifacts of power. Same in the techless book, but of course in the book 1 you've only got 1. Then it moves straight on to scenario with 1 command point and 1 artifact power, whereas in the book 2 you've got 3. Same in the techless book. Then it moves on to a new faction, Hurricane, you know, the winds. So you've got battle traits, command traits, artifacts of power. Then it also moves on to Hurricane in the techless book. Then Alarith, we're on the same page here, and they are all the same. Moves on to spell laws. So instead of Law of Hysh, it starts off with Law of the Winds, then Law of the High Peaks, which is there, and then Law of Hysh. So it ends with the first from the first book. Then you go into the nations, whereas in the second book you've got this lovely image of you know, the armies. I think that has featured previously right at the start of book 1. In the techless book you only have the spell law, Law of the Winds, so you kind of expected to already have the Law of Hysh and the Law of High Peaks, which are of course there. Then it follows the same format as the techless book with the Shrine Luminor and its War Scroll. Then we're on to the Great Nations. So this remains the same. Great Nation of Metrica, Sayar, Iliatha, Zaytrek, but we've got the 2 new nations, Alumnia and Helom. And that's the same as in the techless book, you've got Alumnia and Helom. This is the same, the Vanguard Strikes, the Sight of Enlightenment, but you've got a new one, the Scouring Wind, which is also present in techless book. Then we have the Path to Glory, which is worded exactly the same in all 3. This has changed slightly. Before, for instance, you only had Hero Follows Table, 1 to 3 Alarith Stone Mage, and 4 to 6 Cenari Cathalar. Now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 to 6 Cenari Cathalar. So it introduces the Wind Mage, the Caligrave, and the Banner Blade. The Warband tables in the second book are of course the same in the techless book. Then you've got War Scrolls. Wow. In the techless book, you only get the Lumineth Battle Host, the Hurricane Temple, Starshard Battery, and Blade Lord Host, so just the new ones. Whereas in the second book, you're getting the Lumineth Battle Host, which is the new one. You're getting the Teklian Vanguard, the Alarith, the Arolan, the Dawn Rider, but the 3 new ones as well, Hurricane, Starshard, and Blade Lord Host. So again, I think I've said before, it may be worth having the techless book because then you can see just what the new units and what the new War Scrolls are. So that's pretty straightforward. Then we're straight into the War Scrolls. So they both start off with Archmage techless, whereas the techless book only consists of the new units. As I say, you've got Lyrior, you've got the Lord Regent, the Banner Blade. It's just the new units and Miari at the back, along with the pitch battle profiles. Again, it only includes the new units and their points cost, along with the Bone Reapers and the Nurgle War Scrolls. I'm not sure why they're right at the back with the Lumineth, and they could have just added them like 1 line in their War Scrolls closer. But my only assumption is that the points cost values in all the Age of Sigmar books are always at the back anyway, so they've just bundled them there with the Lumineth. And that's pretty much it for the techless book. That's one of the reasons why it is so large. You're getting 50 pages there of Lumineth. That's what this 152 page booklet is about. A third of it is just Lumineth. So yeah, technically, if you're adding the 50 pages along with your first book, then that is more. It's 143 or so. So that is a little bit more than you know, the second book in total if you have both of them, but there we go. Anyway, so we've got Age of Teclis, then we've got the Light of Eltharion. I think that's still a great choice to have them up front and centre, but this is where it changes. It goes to Lyrior Uthral instead of the Cenari Cathalar, and then it moves to the Lord Regent and the Bannerblade. Again, perfect choices for book 2. It keeps with the Venari Orollan. So you've got the Sentinels and the Wardens instead of the Dawn Riders. I personally would have rather had the Venari Dawn Riders up front, but they are then a little bit later on. You've got some new units there, the Ballistas, the Blade Lords, and then we're on the same level again with the Cenari Cathalar. I like how they've got all the Cenari here. So you've got the Caligrave and the Lawseeker. They're 2 new units. This is where it's a bit odd because I would have preferred them to have Alania because she's Cenari, but it moves on to Alara Spirit of the Mountain, and this layout I would have preferred the Stone Mace, the Stone Guard, then the Spirit of the Mountain. So if we move these across, just like the format there in the first book, but that's just my preference. And then Avelenor, nothing's changed with both of those pages. Right here, we've got Alania and Elethor. Not sure why they're there. I think they should be a bit further on. But you've also got the Wind faction. So you've got Hurricane Wind Mage, the Hurricane Wind Chargers, Severeth and Hurricane Spirit of the Wind. Again, I would have preferred Spirit of the Wind first and foremost, but I understand why they've copied, you know, with Lyrior and Lord Regent. They put like the name character first, and then, you know, I say the standard character. And finally, you've got the Myari Lightcaller and Myari's Purifiers. I would have liked like a picture of the Purifiers, like all of them, a bit like that. And then we could have had all of the endless spells in the same format over the 2 pages as the first book. I think that works fantastic. You've got all of the endless spells on a 2-page spread with you know, a little photo of them as well. Whereas on the second book, you've got, you know, 2 of them there, 1 of them there, and then the same artwork. I would have much preferred them on 2 pages, but that's my preference. Wow, pitch battle profiles. Look at this. You've hardly got any here in the first book. It barely looks like an army with just a few units there. Whereas this second book, oh my, goes on to 2 pages. I think one of the reasons is because of the War Scroll battalions. You've got the War Scroll battalions on the back, but you've also got allies, Idoneth, Deepkin there. So you can pick your flying turtles and things alongside all of your flying foxes. But I think this is a great layout. You've got many more units there. They're certainly fleshing out this army. It is odd, the directions they're going with this, maybe because of that fan of redirection possibly, but yeah, they started off very strong with the pikes and the bows and the Stone Guard theme, but now they're moving over to wind. Who knows what's next? Overall, this feels like a much more solid foundation for an army. I'm interested to see where they go next with the Force, but yeah, I hope this has helped you decide which book you will go for, or even if you're going to pick up Lumineth Realm-Lords themselves. Quick summary: if you're brand new to Lumineth and you want to start, you can't go wrong with book 2. If you've already got book 1 with the army set, you're not going to miss out on anything if you pick up the Broken Realms book 2. And you know, there's a huge amount of lore, many pages of lore, which will get you engrossed in Teclis and everything else that's going on. So it might be worth it for the extra lore, but not miss out on the War Scrolls that you get in the second book, because they're all in this one too. And we're talking about all of the new units and the spells and the battle plans, things like that. That's all in the tech list. Nothing is missed. So I hope this video has helped in some way and covered all of your questions. If you do have any more questions, you know where to put them, just in the comments below. What do you guys think of book 2 and Broken Realms book 2, a tech list book? And on a side note, which is your favourite unit of the second wave of Lumineth Realm-Lords? I'll be interested to find out your answers. Please put them in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Techless Protects.